Welcome back, CSA students. All right, in this video, I'm going to help you get started on the Methods Pair Programming Practice Lab. So if you have the course materials, this is what it looks like now. It may not be highlighted if you come back at a later date, but I'm talking about this practice lab right here. So we went through all the slides and the formal stuff on methods, and we've looked at some on paper, but we want to start coding some and getting comfortable with seeing them in our code. So this program is practice writing methods using conditionals. It has some math operations and some things we used before. It also has practice, I'm going to even type it in right now, using shell code. So you're going to see right here it says download the shell code and compile and run the program. Once we do that, it's going to look like this, but let's go ahead and do that step and we'll just work through step by step. So I'm going to click this link and it brings me to all this code, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold the shift and click Control C, and I'm going to go over to JGrasp and start File, New Java, and go ahead and paste that in. And I actually did want to be in a different folder before I save this. So I'm going to open the folder that I want it to be in. I think this is, yeah, we'll save it here. So File, Save As, let's see, yep, gives me Methods.java, and that's good enough. So you can go ahead and put your name on top. Today's date is 10/6. And you'll see right off that this is a lot more code than we've usually had, and so don't get intimidated by it. Let's go ahead and see if it compiles, because according to the specs it says that it should compile and run. So mine compiles. If yours does not compile, make sure you didn't lose this ending curly brace here that ends the class. So make sure you have that there. So I'm going to go ahead and click run. And this produces a ton of output. So I've written all this code, and there, let me know if there's a mistake in it. There may be, but the point right now, and this is what is mentioned in the document here, not that one, here, is that after the initial run, you should see this, which does look like what we're seeing here. Looks a little different. Yeah, it looks different. It looks like I've added some more. But the point here is to notice that what is expected from whatever this thing is supposed to be true, but when it runs, it's saying false. And here it expected false. It got false, so that one looks right. But so the point is that the expected runs are not matching the actual runs. And look here, this one's even empty. We expected false, we got nothing. So the idea is that when you're done, it will, let me see if I can go back. Everything should match. So down below, there's some examples where it's true, true, false, false, true, true. So we are going to write methods so that all these values are matching up. So looking at the code, there's a lot of comments, a lot of code. Remember, we want to look for that main method, and here's that main method, and here's where all those prints are coming from. So each one of these prints is actually going to be calling a method, and it's your job to go write the methods so that we get the correct output. And I have it sectioned so that you'll notice all of these examples that run at first are all calling the is/even method with different values, 4, 7, 0. And so that is where these messages are coming from. And it's your job to go write that method correctly so that we get everything matched. So we're going to go write that method together, and then we'll see that these are matching, and then you're going to continue with the rest of the methods. So first we have to find the is/even method, and we can see this one's called smallest. This one's called largest. Here's a print middle, and is divisible, and here's is even. So here's that method. So at the top of every method, there's going to be a description of what the method does. It's going to tell you what is input to the method, a description about it, what the method should do, which is the process, and the output, what it should return. So in this case, we want to determine if it's even or odd, and we've done this in class, we've just not done it in a method context. So right now this method is returning false all the time, which would indicate that that nothing is even, right? If we always return false, we'll never get a true. So we need to replace this with code that indicates whether this num is even or odd. So this is the abstract piece. So when I call is even with 4, num will get the 4, and I want you to tell me that 4 is even. When I call is even the next time with a 7, it'll have a 7, and it'll do a different path, and it will return false, indicating that it is an odd number. So we're going to go ahead and put the if-else in here. So recall that when we were finding evens and odds, we wanted to know if the num modded by 2 was equal 0, then that indicated that it was even. And what we did before is we would system.out.println num is even. But we're going to move away from that some. So right here it says determines if it's even or odd, and it returns true or false. So I just need to determine if it's even or odd. I don't need to display it. I need to return that Boolean value this time. The main method is going to print it for me. So I'm going to make, there's a couple ways to do this. I'm going to make a Boolean variable though. So I'm going to call it even, and I'm going to say it equals false. So I'm going to assume all numbers are false. All these nums are false. But if num mod 2 equals 0, I'm going to set that even variable to true. Now, I don't need an else here. To set it to false, because the else would be that the number is odd. The even up here is saying that the number is even, because I've already put a false in that variable, so I don't really need to put the false in there again. All I need to do is change that Boolean variable if indeed num is even. So I'll leave that there. I probably wouldn't leave it normally, but just to show you that how we might have written it had we not already had the false in there. So the last step is when you have a method that has a type here other than void, you need to make sure you return that type before you leave. So I could return true or false here, but what I actually want to return is this Boolean variable called even, which has the value that I want to return in it. So let's see if this method now works as expected. So now I'm saying true, true, false, false, yeah, and it looks like, at least for these test cases, everything worked correctly, even for negatives, and for 0, which we're counting as even for this case. So this method is done at that point. So continue in this fashion, get used to just the different syntax. Think of this methods class as kind of like the math class that has all those methods in it that you can call to do a task. You're now making a bank of methods that you can call to do a specific task. And so a lot of this, we are just trying to get used to the method syntax and how our code is going to look differently than when we just put everything in main. When you are working through these, pay attention to the fact that some say determine and return, like this one did. Some say display and don't return anything, like this void method. When it says display, that's when you are going to go ahead and put a system out print line in here. When you put the print line, make sure you are printing exactly what it's telling you to print, either a true or a false. So I tried to mix it up so you'd have some examples with void methods and some with Boolean and some with multiple input and some with none maybe. So take your time, do one method at a time. You would go back down to main and you would see you've done this one, and so now the next method is print is negative. So you would go up to this method right here. So you're looking for those names, and here's the description for it, and here's where you put your code, and then you compile it, you run it, you make sure things are matching exactly, and you move on to the next one. So good luck and happy coding.